Hello everyone, welcome to Val Fashion's YouTube channel. My name is Eunice. So today's video is the continuation of my previous video on how to cut an Igbo blouse. So this is basically the sewing part. It is actually going to be very advisable that you first watch the cutting part so that you get to understand fully well what I'm doing in this part, since we're just going to be stitching our pieces together. Can you see how perfect this Igbo blouse looks on the mannequin? So you can imagine what it looks like on the owner, because this came out perfectly well. And this, whether you are a beginner or not, this will just come out very well if you follow all the steps. So I'm going to be dropping the link in the description box so that you can check out the video on how to cut it, so that you can understand better how to sew your pieces together to achieve a good result. So thank you for clicking on this video. Welcome. Please kindly subscribe and do not forget to hit on the notification bell so that you get notified once I post a new video, and also endeavor to share, like, comment, ask your questions if you have any. Thank you. Thank you. So after pressing my pad to my bustier, this is what I have. So everything is well stuck. So now I'll place my lace fabric on the satin, as you can see. So you need your hemming gum. All you need to do is to place your hemming gum in between the lace and the satin. This is to stick them together. You want to just use a very hot steam iron to iron this. You need to be very careful with this part. While ironing it, I will advise that you use a piece of fabric to cover your lace so that you don't burn it. Remember that it has to be very hot so that your gum, that's your hemming gum, can dissolve. Can you see how I'm placing it? You want to place it at the curved part at the sides. It's very important so that everything, your lace is sitting all nice and flat. Okay, but before doing that, the first thing to do is to hem the bottom of your satin. That's the base of your satin. You want to fold half inch, half inch. Remember, I added 1 inch hemming allowance. I'm going to repeat the same process for all the three pieces I have, and I'll also do the same thing for my lining also. So after doing that, I'm going to show us how to join our pieces. So can you see I've hemmed the down part, and I've also ironed my satin to the lace, and then this is me matching up the hem. Can you see that where my satin stopped at each of the laces on the same point? You don't want to make your satin stop, let's say 1.5 inches away on the center piece, and then on the side piece is stopping 2 inches away. You don't want to have that problem. Okay, so now this is my yoke. I went ahead to cut out my yoke on the lace fabric. This is it, and I cut it with extra 1 inch. That's is an allowance of 1 inch. This is to replace what I'll be losing when I stitch them together. So that 1 inch is for my sewing allowance. Of course, half inch will go to the bodice, that's the bustier, and then half inch will go for the yoke. So that's why I went ahead to add 1 inch. That's to replace what I have lost. And I also went ahead to cut the lining for the yoke, which is my tulle net. This is what I'll be using to line the yoke instead of using a bias to turn the neckline. So now this is me trying to draw the neckline. I'll be using the same neck width I used for the back. I used the neck width of 4.5 inches for the back, and then I'm using a neck depth of 3.5 inches for the front. So I'll just go ahead and place my curve and then draw my neckline out. So it's that simple. So all you need to do is just to cut it out, and then I'll show us how to stitch the bustier together. So to join our bustier together, I have my centerpiece and my side pieces. So first you make sure that your lining is aligning with, that's the lining on the centerpiece and the side piece are all aligning, and then also the on the bust point is aligning. This will help to give you that nice lift. So I'm going to take to my sewing machine and I'll be sewing on 1/2 inch. So here we are. So I'll be starting from the down side, that's from below, from the hemline. Okay, so I want to pin my lining together and then also pin the under bust point, so that your part at that point, you don't want to have any shift. You want to make sure that they are all aligning. So go ahead and sew on 1/2 inch, which is the sewing allowance I added. So just carefully do it. And so while we are approaching the underbust part, the underbust line, I'll make sure to curve it in nicely. So just take note of what I'm doing and you'll get it right. So once you get to the underbust, you want to curve it correctly at that side, because this side matters very much. That will determine the kind of lift or how nice the lift you have on the bust area will be. So we're done with stitching one side. So I'm going to open it up and show us. So can you see what we have? Can you see our cup is looking nice? So I'll repeat the same thing for the other side and show us. So this is what we have after stitching our bustier together. So now I'll go ahead and notch the underbust. Can you see what I'm doing? So you want to make sure that that part is notched so that it relaxes well. So we want to repeat the same thing for the other side. Then I'll take it to my ironing table, press my seam lines opened and show us what we have. So after pressing my seam lines open, I went ahead to use paper stay to keep it open. This is actually to help it stay open permanently even after the person has worn and washed the outfit. So that's why I went ahead to do that. So you can see what it looks like on the right side. My cup is sitting really nice. So the next thing we want to do now is to fix the yoke of this outfit. So I'm going ahead to turn the neckline, to stitch down the neckline of the yoke. So you can see I'm done doing that. I placed the tulle net on the right side, sewed it down, and then I'm turning it to the wrong side. So this is me. I'm going to iron the neckline now, and then I'll go ahead to stitch down the base before I fix it to the neckline there. That's the sweetheart shape. Can you see this is what I have? I'll go ahead to notch the midpoint so that the center of the bustier and the yoke will align properly. So you don't want to make that mistake, so that the sweetheart neckline comes out well. So you need pins at this point. You really need to work with your pins. Everything will come out neat if you do the right thing. So this is me pinning it down, and then I'll go ahead to sew it on 1/2 inch. Remember, I added 1 inch to the length of my yoke. So by sewing on 1/2 inch at that point, that 1 inch I added will of course be my sewing allowance, so that will be gone, and then I'll go back to my actual length. So I'll be sewing from the wrong side, that's from the other side, so that I can see my sweetheart neckline properly while sewing. So you want to just make sure that you pin the yoke, especially this middle part that is shifting. I'm going to pin it down to the pad itself so that it helps to hold it down. You don't want to make mistake around here. If not, you'll notice there will be this gathering around the neckline. So I'm stitching down my yoke to the neckline, and I'm almost done with that. The next thing now to do is to notch the neckline. I'm going to go ahead and notch the neckline so that it relaxes well, and then I'll place my lining on the right side. That's my yoke is going to be in between the lining and the bustier. So I'm going to place my lining on the right side and then sew the neckline down. I'm trying as much as possible to make this video fast, but you can see that it's really detailed. So that is why this video is taking this long. So if you follow everything I'm saying, you will have a perfect Madame blouse or Igbo blouse. So you just want to make sure that you follow each step carefully so that your blouse comes out really nice. There's no reason why we should make any flat bustier anymore. Doing this correctly, ironing properly, everything will sit well. So back to what we were talking about. I'm going to sew the neckline. I'll be sewing it from the same, that's from the same side where I sewed before, so that I can see my previous stitch. So right now the bustier is the one on top, so that I can see my previous line and still sew just a little beneath that line. You can as well sew on top of the line or just a little beneath it, so that you hide all your seam lines inside. So once I'm done with that, I will turn the sides and then notch the neckline to give it that relaxed look. So you can see that's what I'm doing right now. So you need to press once you are done notching this neckline, so that everything sits well. So this is me taking off my pin. I pinned the yoke to the bustier. So can you see what it looks like on the right side? My yoke is sitting well, and then this is what it looks like from the wrong side. It's still really neat. Can you see that? So you want to make sure to press this, and then we'll sew the sides. I'll be placing the lining on the right side so that I can cover up the side. So the side, that's to give it that French finishing. So without wasting more time, now we're going to join the back piece. So this is my front piece. You can see that I've neatly sewn the sides too. Can you see that? You can no longer see my haystay or anything. My satin is neatly covering everything apart from the armhole. This is what I mean. Can you see what the sides look like? Everything is looking nice. So the down part, I will be stitching the down part where you can see my lining at the hem opening. So I'll just stitch the down parts together. So this is my back piece. I've gone ahead to sew my darts, and then I also cut facing for the back. Can you see what we have? And I've stitched it down to also notch the neckline so that it's relaxed. So at this part where I have my zipper that has been fixed also, I'm going to sew my facing very close to the zipper there. I'm going to be turning my facing very close to the zipper so that the zip is relaxed, you get. Can you see what I'm doing? That's where I'll be stitching it down. I'll repeat the same thing on the other side. Then I'll go ahead to join my shoulders together. You see, so and I'll also make sure to use hemming gum to hold down my facing. For this Igbo blouse, I'll be making a ruffled sleeve, but of course I can't post it in this video because this video is already too long. I'll be posting it in my next video, so please make sure to subscribe, like this video, share with your friends, and put on the notification so that you get notified once I post my new video. Thank you.